Welcome to the Andy Meadows Show. Later in the show, we're going to discuss my irrational fear of shark attacks. We've also got a good redneck roundtable coming up where we'll talk about the Chuck E. Cheese arrest, doomsday prepping, pranks gone wrong, and which animal will rule the world once we're gone. But first, your headlines. Romance rumors are swirling about pop star Katy Perry and former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau after they were spotted strolling together in Montreal. Good for them. I hope it's true. I think it's great when two super hot people hook up because I'm at the tail end of a generation that solely judges people based on their looks. Lots of celebrity dating rumors this week. Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas. I think that one's been out for a while. The new one I heard that caught me by total surprise was Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. Again, makes sense. They both have a particular set of skills. TSA has ended their shoes off policy, meaning travelers can now keep their shoes on at airport security here in the U.S. I'm totally on board with that one because one of my travel hacks is traveling in a suit because it's hard to pack suits. So I'm usually in dress shoes, and there's always that stress of, can I take these shoes off in time without pissing off a bunch of strangers who wore flip-flops? So good call, TSA. Shoe bomber incident was like 24 years ago, so I'm sure we're good. A new study reveals that a mix of diet, exercise, and brain training can significantly support cognitive health and keep your mind sharp as you age. How about crippling anxiety? Does that help? That's my brain health strategy, a mixture of stress, anxiety, and alcohol. So far, so good. A Salvador Dali painting bought for $180 at an estate sale turns out to be worth $37,000. See, this is why you have to have a conversation with Grandma before she craters to find out which art is real and which is just some crap that she painted at one of those wine painting things women go to avoid their husband for a couple hours. Coming up, we'll show you how to play Half a Minute to Win It, where you can win $500 in just 30 seconds. Sign up to play at andymeadowshow.com. Also, quick disclaimer about the Redneck Roundtable. We had an audio issue, so I apologize for the bad audio, but it does get better after the first 4.5 minutes or so. Plus, it's worth it because Lauren is hilarious, so make sure you watch it. This is also part 1 of a 2-parter, and we'll air part 2 in the next episode. Is Fairfield smaller? That we grew up in Junction, Texas, which is tiny, 2,500 people. How big is Fairfield?
Oh gosh, so my family only lived there for me to go to school, but my actual family is from Richland, which is 300 people, and it's tiny. But Fairfield, where I went to high school, was probably, I'm just gonna guess, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Oh, so it's bigger. So Richland, is that on Richland Chambers Lake?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's where y'all had a lake house, right?
So yeah, growing up, we had our family had a lake house, but whenever I graduated high school, my parents built a house on the family ranch. And so basically from 18 years on, that's home.
Yeah.
And then every weekend when I was in school, we would go to the family ranch. And but my great grandfather was he was the mayor for 20 plus years, and he had the only store that was there, and we had cows. I mean, it was the whole thing.
Yeah. So you're the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I had a belt buckle that had a rabbit on it. I raised rabbits in the fair, and yeah.
We had horses. We had a goat. Occasional goat. No, we only had one goat.
We had
right,
a
Chris?
temporary goat. I remember
a temporary goat.
Maybe a month tops.
What happened to the goat? There's always something happens in a redneck family where something happens to the pet, the goat.
Oh yeah, we had tons of dogs that suspicious things happened to.
I don't think the goat got killed. I think it just got sent to live with other goats because it was eating the cars and standing on them and all that stuff.
Is that what your parents told you that anyway, right?
Well, speaking of parents, so we had an Irish setter that was my favorite dog in the world growing up, and it just disappeared one day. And since my dad did a morning show on his radio station, he had a lost and found. I said, hey, you got to talk about the dog and the lost and found so we can find it. And every morning I would tune in and he never mentioned it. And so every day after school, I'm like, hey, why didn't you mention that? And I never found out what happened. And then when we were in high school, my brother Rob goes, dude, the neighbor shot the dog. And Dad didn't want to tell you. So my whole childhood, I thought this dog just abandoned me. And the neighbor shot it because it got in his yard. Jerk.
I think we all probably have a story like that. One of my dogs, his name was Otis. I don't think he bit the neighborhood kid, but he chased it while the kid was on the bike. I mean, normal dog, but I would do the same if I was a dog. But anyway, it was a bad kid. But yeah, they said they'd sent him off to the pasture and he was going to herd the sheep. And like, I imagined this great life. And then, come to find out they had shot the dog. And,
yeah.
So.
That is definitely the redneck way of putting a dog down. Now you get all coddled and they take it in and there's a shot and everybody's happy. There's a candle lit. No, back then they were like, oh yeah, I got a 410, just bring it around the back.
Chris, remember our German Shepherd that Mom taught our German Shepherd, Katy, how to keep the deer, to keep deer out of the garden. So she taught her to protect the garden. Well, that turned into murder any deer that get anywhere near the garden. So our German Shepherd you'd come home from school and there'd be a dead deer just laying on the
yeah, there
just
were
one
also
or two close.
That's traumatic. That's super traumatic. I feel like as rednecks, we were traumatized as kids, and so I think we're actually the strongest generation because we saw it all.
We're also the best prepared for the apocalypse. You better know some rednecks if it hits the fan.
I'm ready. Look, my dad, I'm pretty sure he has an underground bunker, but I don't know exactly where it's located, but I know that he has one. He changed my old room where I used, it's my room when I would go home. He turned it into a bullet making room. So he makes his own bullets. I mean, he's fully prepared. So.
On a scale of 1 being not prepared at all, 10 being you've got your own underground bunker, how much of a doomsday prepper are you?
Me or Chris?
You.
I'm ready, so fully prepared. So when I go to Mexico, so I live on the border, and when I go to Mexico, you can get prescriptions. And so I always get antibiotics and random stuff so that, I feel like everybody has to contribute something to, there's going to be.
To be allowed in the bunker?
Yes, the bunker. So what are you going to bring to the bunker? For me, I'm the drug dealer. So.
You're definitely getting in with that. Chris, are you doomsday prepperish?
Dude, I'm the exact opposite. I have a gun. Well, that's probably a good redneck fact. I have a rifle that I won as a child in it wasn't a raffle. It had to be a door prize at one of the.
Is it a 243?
No, it's a 35.
Oh, that's right. You have a 35.
Yeah. No bullets though. I've got a gun. I could throw it at you maybe, but no way.
You're going to be set. So I sold in Texas, you can sell a gun at a garage sale. I don't know if I should be saying this, but
we had a garage gun show, right? That's fine.
No, at a garage sale.
Yeah.
So we had a garage sale recently, and I sold 2 of our 22s from growing up. But I still have a 12 gauge that Jill's dad gave me in a 9mm. So I'm fairly prepared. 12 gauge and a 9mm, I'll be all right.
Do you have any ammo?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. You got to have a really good skill. I don't know if you're allowed in my bunker at this point. We're gonna have to keep talking.
He can sing to you. That's sing for his dinner.
So yeah, that's my skills are worthless when the apocalypse hits. I can do a radio show or no radio. Hey, for radio, we might be able to put together some ham radio stuff to get the word out on where the safe places are.
Okay, see, you're thinking. I like that. You might be allowed, but let's like I said, let's keep talking. Sure.
Chris, did you share another redneck fact, or are you running out of them?
I can give you another redneck fact that I've eaten mountain oysters and enjoyed them, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty good. Do you know what a mountain oyster is, Lauren?
Yeah. I had this ex-boyfriend, and he had a full-on cattle, farm and all these things. And there would be like a day where they would round up all the cows and they would cut the things, and then like that night the family and the friends would come and we would eat them, and it was like a whole
they're
thing.
actually really good as long as you don't know if you don't know what it is the first time you eat it, it's good.
Yeah,
But
when they flatten them and deep fry them. But I guess they could do that to anything, though, and it would be tasty.
So it's for anybody watching that doesn't know, it's goat testicles, right?
Well,
Isn't that what?
Well, any
most
testicle, I think.
testicles, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think they limit it to goats, but yeah.
Well, for us, it was cows.
Cow. Yeah, okay. I think maybe it's mostly cows. Did you guys see the Chuck E. Cheese guy getting arrested?
Yes.
I saw the pictures, but I don't know details.
Why
Yeah,
would they not at least take the hat off of him? Would that be more traumatic for the little kids in there? Like, okay, Chucky's getting arrested, but
Yeah, they
oh
literally
my God,
they
Chucky's head
took
came
him
off.
they took him all the way out of the Chuck E. Cheese with the freaking whole suit on. So
Yeah.
all the kids in there are probably screaming and going, "What in the world?"
These ice raids are getting insane.
I don't think that's what it was. I think it was like a.
Where are your papers, Chucky?
I don't think he committed a pizza related crime. I think he did something like stole people's credit cards or something. But yeah, they arrested this guy working at Chuck E. Cheese in the full suit. But it did get me thinking, like, Chuck E. Cheese is a pretty awesome place to have kids' birthday parties. What's your go-to or favorite place you've ever had a kid's birthday party or a birthday party?
Well, I mean, Chuck E. Cheese is old school. Like I feel like it's played out. I'm honestly surprised it's still open.
They do have beer for the parents though now, so there's that.
Yeah, I recently saw there was a video of a family at Disney World, and there was a picture of this Hispanic man, and I guess he was Minnie Mouse, and he had his leg. He was on his shift or his break, and he was smoking, and he had the head just tilted up, and he was just smoking, but he was wearing the Minnie Mouse outfit. And I was like, they got to get these people away from like the crowd when they're on their breaks.
Oh, and this story is going to inspire like wannabe influencers and stuff to like put on a Chuck E. Cheese mask and get tased or something just to get the views.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, anything for a life.
I don't know. I think Dave and Buster's now is probably the kids' casino of choice.
Yeah.
I like Dave and Buster's used to be an adult arcade, and now you go in and it is a children's casino. It's not.
Yeah, and I get mad because when you get on the car racing games and the kids are all beating you and they're talking their smack, I'm like, dang it.
Don't you play? Aren't you a gamer, Andy? You play the.
Not any. I mean, I used to before we had kids. Like I'll try to fire it up and start playing, and then one of them will start, crying or making noise, and I'm like, dang it. Oh, and I tried to get the 2-year-old to play a racing game with me the other day, and she was so over it in like 30 seconds.
Because she beat you too fast?
I thought she'd like it because she likes driving the pretend cars, but no, she was. Hey, Lauren, remember when we went for Jill's 30th? We went to that Urban Air trampoline park.
Yes.
For her, that's a fun place to go for. And although we all realized for the first time that Paul was more athletic than we thought he was.
It really shocks me. We went to, we were at a resort in Mexico. I don't know if I ever told you this, but, we were day drinking, having a good time. And then, they always have activities. And they were like, we're going to do pool volleyball. And so I was like, okay, I feel like I'm the more athletic of the two of us, but I'm also not super tall. So anyway, we're in the pool, and Paul just like slow-mo comes out of nowhere. It was like, boo, and like hits the ball, slams it down on some little kid. I was like, what is happening? And so finally I just gave up because I sucked. And he, I sit and I watch him, and he just takes down the whole pool. And I'm like, I don't even know you anymore. Like I was ready to get divorced at that point.
We did. We were in Puerto Vallarta, and this was beach volleyball, and everyone thinks I'm good because I'm so tall. So I get picked immediately, and Jill's on the other team, and she's watching, and so she's playing against me, and because everybody thinks I'm good, I'm trying super hard. So I'm like way over trying, and I've had some booze in me, and I plowed through a woman going to get a ball and felt super guilty that I hurt her. I mean, she was fine. She lived. She was okay, but I'm not. Jill found out pretty quick that I'm not as athletic as you would think I am, and I can't change directions very well, so I sometimes end up accidentally hurting somebody.
Was that you, Andy, that got in a foot race? You and Wojo said one could run faster than the other. Was that you?
Yeah, that was you. Were you there?
I think I saw a video.
Oh, so
that somebody fell.
Chris,
Like,
you know our friend Wojo.
Wojo,
Have you
yeah.
met Wojo?
Yeah.
So Wojo is probably what, 5'7", 5'6"?
If you're being generous, sure.
So he's almost a foot shorter than me, and he was talking serious smack about how he could beat me in a foot race, and I'm hammered, but I'm like, there's no way that you can beat, no possible way. So he was probably a little hammered too, to be fair. So we head out to this is 2:00 in the morning. We head out to the street, and
to the street.
Take it to the street.
Let's settle this once and for all.
in Fort Worth on South Adams. I'll meet you out on South Adams. And we got out there, and Manning was like, ready, set, go. And I start and Wojo's little short getaway sticks are working as hard as they can to catch me. And he falls and busts. But I was laughing so hard, he got up and almost caught me, because it's kind of hard to run while you're laughing your butt off. But I did win the race.
And
like,
hammered.
Yeah. I'm fast as long as I only have to go in one direction.
And you
If
don't
I
have
have-
to stop.
If I have to turn around.
Yes.
So some scientists believe that octopuses could rule, or octopi. Is it octopuses?
Honestly, I think it might be octopi.
I think it is octopi. So scientists believe octopi could rule the world once humans are gone. Once we're toast, what animal do you think will rule the world?
Dude, yesterday I saw a video of an octopus taking out a shark. It like
Whoa.
went over the top of the shark. I don't think it was actually going to succeed in finishing the job, but today, yesterday I told you that's ridiculous, but today maybe
They're
because they're
extremely-
aliens.
They're very smart.
Yeah.
And so, like, you can put them in a jar, and they can figure out how to open the jar.
Yeah, aren't
Like-
are they the smartest animal?
Dolphins are pretty smart too.
Yeah, dolphins can take out a shark.
Maybe humans. Humans might be smarter.
Well, I'm saying if humans are gone, what's going to take over?
No, you said the octopuses were the smartest animal.
Oh, yeah.
You know, repeat the question.
So
Humans
once
die off.
humans are gone, what
Okay.
animal would rule the world? Scientists, or at least some scientists, believe it would be an octopus or octopi.
Were these
What-
the same scientists doing a weed study or something? Because they're like, man, it's going to be an octopus.
So you said rule the world?
Yeah, I'm thinking, what about like elephants? They're smart and huge.
Yeah, but well, I
I
guess they
think-
got the tusks.
The monkeys.
Yeah, if Charlton Heston and Mark Wahlberg taught us anything, it's that apes are going to take over.
Dude, it might be like crows. They're super smart too.
Birds, yeah. Alfred Hitchcock may have been onto something. Why did they? Have you seen that movie, Birds?
Yeah.
Why did they frickin' take the convertible at the end? You know what I mean? They had two cars to choose from, a sedan and a convertible, and they choose the convertible.
I got to go back and watch that. Like I just remember the lady had the big bouffant hairdo, or like, and it was like hitting the head.
Maybe her hair wouldn't fit in the sedan, Andy. Solution.
I don't want to mess my hair up. I know we're about to get murdered by birds, but it took forever to do this hair. What? So, Lauren, I know you're a prankster. You've pulled some pranks. What's the best or worst prank you've ever pulled on someone? Oh, and bear in mind, we did tell the Wojo lottery ticket story on last week's episode, and that was you, wasn't it?
Yes. And that was like, it was a good prank, but it was a bad prank at the same time because I've never seen anyone so devastated. Like, he was so happy and so devastated within like a few minutes. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but
Yeah.
when Paul and I first got married, we moved to Fort Worth. We lived in downtown. We had that triplex. I don't know if you remember that, Andy. We were really close to where 80 used to be.
Yeah. Those downtown apartments.
Yeah, so we could just walk like to downtown, and but Paul was working at the DA's office at the time, and I was doing home health or something, but I would get home before him, and so like every day, and I was young. I mean, I was probably like 23, 22 or something. I would hide, and it was incredibly small. I mean, it was a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. I would like scare the crap out of him. So I would hide. And anyway, there was one day, and in the most random places. Like, I was running out of places because the place was
How
so
long
small.
were you waiting to scare him at points? Like,
So,
was this a
yeah,
real commitment thing?
It was. Like, there was times where I was like, okay, this is getting awkward. He's not coming home. But, the space in the kitchen between the cabinets and the ceiling, it's like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was fully committed to this. Like, I crawled up, and I was laying sideways, and I was waiting. And he just went about his time like he had no idea that I was there. But finally, I was like, this is getting old. Like, he's not seeing me. So I was like, I jumped out and did something. But he let out a little, toot. And so we had not been like married that long. Like, we didn't share the bathroom. So it was like really awkward. So neither of us laughed. And then like I didn't do it anymore. So
the fart ruined the prank.
Yes. And the romance, I mean, it was weird for at least a week. So
Chris, have you ever pulled a prank that went awry?
Yes. It was a really lame prank that turned into a really good prank. So,
Okay.
because we pranked the wrong guy in the end. I was in a community theater musical production, and the girls went into our dressing room and hung up a bunch of centerfolds from like Playboy magazine. And we figured we're going to get them back. So we went and got a Playgirl magazine. But there was a younger girl in the woman's cast, and the director found out we were doing this and said, don't do that right now. You can do it the last night. I'll make sure she doesn't go into the dressing room. I'm like, okay. So it's just a revengeful prank that was pretty lame. However, I had a Playgirl magazine in my car now, and I'm like, man, this is not going to look good if somebody finds this thing in my car. Maybe I get pulled over. I don't want to have to explain it. So I take it and I hide it in my room. And Andy had a tendency, I know now, to steal from me. And he would go through my room.
We would only steal for beer money. I mean, we had a good reason for stealing, and it was like quarters. We weren't taking hard folding money.
Theft is theft, sir.
So Andy,
and I would like to implicate Scott in this because he was the one that orchestrated it. But anyway, go ahead.
So I have this Playgirl magazine in my room that I don't want anybody to find, and Andy's robbing me for the umpteenth time of all of my money. He would just take it all. I never had any. And he finds a Playgirl magazine in my room. And instead of coming to me like a brother and going, hey, dude, why do you have a Playgirl magazine in your room? He immediately goes, oh, Chris is gay. And decides he needs to tell Dad instead of having a conversation with me about it.
No.
So
We were good Baptist boys. I just wanted him to know.
It's a good point. Dad is a Southern Christian boomer generation man. And this is the best part about it. He was so accepting of my homosexuality. So Andy sits him down and goes, Chris is gay. And Dad's like, well, he's got a Playgirl. I guess Chris is gay. And
In my defense, Dad came to the exact same conclusion I did because I thought, why would he have a magazine with a? And I don't know if you've ever looked through a Playgirl magazine. There's a lot of naked men in there, and it's not They're not bashful at all about. I mean, it's so you're just Scott and I both. We saw it and we're like, Scott, will you look through it? Because I didn't want to look through it. Scott's like, I'll look through it, and he's like, I go, tell me if maybe there's a naked woman in there, and maybe that's why he has it. And so Scott's going through, and he's like, no, it's all penises, and he like throws it. So we come to the only conclusion you could come to: he's got to be gay. Nothing wrong with that, but we did, So
nobody's told me, and this is going on for weeks. And I'm leaving the house, and every time Dad's home and I'm leaving the house, Dad's like, hey, I just want you to know, I love you no matter what. You can tell me anything. I love you no matter what. And I'm going, what in the world is going on? Like, love you too, Dad. All right, see you later. And finally, Andy never talks to me about it. He talks to one of our mutual friends and is like, hey, did you know Chris is... I don't know how many people he told. It had to have been everybody but me.
Telephone, telegram, tell Andy.
He came out of the closet unbeknownst to you.
Yeah. So he tells one of our mutual friends, hey, do you know Chris is gay? He's like, Chris isn't gay. He knows why I have it, I guess. Or he just is like, no, he's definitely not gay.
It was Alden. He was in the play with you.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And so that's the best prank because we've still never told Dad. He thinks I'm gay to this day. No. I own a bed and breakfast in Vermont with my husband. We're really making this go.
I didn't realize how bad this story makes me look.
Yeah, I mean, you're stealing from your brother. You're telling people he's gay. I mean, honestly, you need...
The person who comes out tops in this is Dad. Dad was so super accepting. It was actually lovely.
Yeah, and even when I told him, because we were both like... I told Dad because I didn't know what to do about it. Like, do I talk to you? Do I talk, and Dad was really cool about it from the get-go, which is exactly the opposite of what I expected because we're, big time.
Yeah, you're like...
You could have gotten me expelled from the house, discommunicated from the family. That's what you expected. You could have also just told nobody about it. That's also an option.
Yeah, that would be the better brother thing to do, right? Like, come to you and be like, look, I found this. Instead he's like, everybody, my brother's gay.
At 17, I probably wasn't mentally prepared to handle a situation this complex. And we were stealing the money for beer, so we were probably shortly thereafter inebriated. But my best prank, actually not the best prank, and probably shouldn't tell this one because the last story didn't make me look very good. But mine involved Scott too, because Scott and I would get into prank wars all the time. And he, Chris, remember that guy on our AM station that did the Tradio type show where he would sell stuff?
Was Scott it Carlos?
No, it wasn't Carlos. It was some real old dude. I can't remember who it was. But anyway, he took live calls and would sell stuff on the AM station. So Scott called him up and gave my phone number and said, Andy is giving away goats. So I got hundreds and hundreds of calls and I had no idea why. Everyone's like, hey, so where you got them goats? I'm like, what are you talking about? And then they would get mad at me because I'd advertised free goats and wasn't giving away. So that one really pissed me off. So to get back at Scott, I wrote a prisoner pretending to be him. So I took it way too far as to get back. So
just a complete menace to society.
Yeah, no, that's 17. Between the ages of 17 and 23, I was not a good human being. This is a little game we call Half a Minute to Win It. Answer 5 questions in 30 seconds, and you win $500. Only first answers count. If you don't know, you can pass. And if there's time left, we'll go back to it. You'll hear 3 beeps, and then I'll start. Person I'm pretending is real. Are you ready to play?
Yes, Andy, I'm ready to play your silly little game.
Who played Ken in the Barbie movie?
Ryan Gosling.
What Slovenian basketball player was drafted as the 3rd overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft by the Dallas Mavericks?
Luka Doncic.
Spell creatively.
Creativity.
What's the smallest and shallowest of the world's 5 oceans?
The Arctic Ocean.
What is 174 divided by 2?
77.
Oh, so close. You got 4 out of 5. Not bad, really. I mean, kind of bad considering you're a computer.
You're just jealous because I'm considerably better looking than you.
Your Rex and Rants are next, but first, according to my wife, my friends and family, I've developed way too many irrational fears over my 4+ decades on God's green earth. I think they keep me safe by protecting me from a world constantly trying to kill me. They think it makes me a nightmare to travel with. So I thought I'd dedicate a rotating segment to doing a deep dive on each of these to justify why I'm terrified of these things. And who knows, maybe we'll do a follow-up where I face some of these, but probably not. This is Andy's Irrational Fears. Today we're going to talk about sharks, those monsters of the deep we've all been haunted by ever since our parents let us watch Jaws at way too early of an age. A few additional things that have added to my shark phobia. When I was 18, we went to Hawaii and I spent a week blissfully swimming at a beach in Honolulu that I then saw featured on Shark Week when I returned as the favorite stomping grounds of tiger sharks, the Chris Christies of the sea, who will eat virtually anything. On another trip to a coral reef, I overheard a newlywed seated across from me asking her new husband, a professional diver by the way, if we were likely to see sharks on said reef we were visiting, to which he replied, almost certainly, meaning her and I almost certainly stayed in the boat the entire time. On a third occasion, I was drinking at a bar, surprise, surprise, and met a man with no arm using the other one to pound straight whiskey. He proceeded to tell me a harrowing tale of how a great white shark took his arm and nearly his life off the coast of Australia, a place I'd always wanted to visit because their accents and general attitude towards life are hilarious. Because of those things, now my fear of these ancient beasts runs so deep that I scream like a 10-year-old girl anytime anything touches my foot when I venture more than a few feet deep in the ocean. Despite the fact that shark attacks are incredibly rare, the odds of getting bit by a shark are 1 in 3.7 million. In fact, death by selfie is more common than death by shark. Plus, the most likely U.S. state for shark attacks is Florida, which is a state I generally avoid anyway. So maybe my family is right and my fear of sharks is irrational. Or maybe one day one of them will be eaten by a shark and I'll have the last laugh. I got a rant this week, a complaint. It's going to sound like old man stuff, but why is the print so small on the back of boxes, like recipes and cooking instructions? It seems to be getting tinier and tinier, and it's a conspiracy against all of us who are aging. My eyes were perfect, by the way, till like 42, and then they went fast. They went south fast. I'm already I'm 46 now. I'm already in progressive lenses, so I've already progressed to progressive lenses. So I have great glasses, really expensive glasses, but it's still almost impossible to see the recipe box unless I put on my separate computer glasses, which make me look like Mr. Magoo. So I feel super silly wearing these around people. But anyway, that's my rant. I think if I ever run for political office, not that I could win, but one of my things on my platform would be to make the print at least a certain size on the back of those. That's my Trump toilet flushing type complaint. Last week's Game of Games answer was from the category, what year is it? C, 1999 was the year all those things happened. MySpace, Hurricane Floyd, and what was the other one? Hurricane Floyd, and somebody winning something. That will be in one of our upcoming Game of Games live on social, YouTube, and on-site coming soon. Winners take home $250 and a spot in the semifinals to win more money and a trip to Vegas for the finals. Sign up now at andymeadowshow.com. Here's today's question from the category AI or real. I'll play you 3 clips. 2 are real, and 1 is AI. Here is clip A. Clip B. And clip C. Answer now at andymeadowshow.com. Which one of those is AI? That's it for today's show. We'll be back next week with a new episode of The Andy Meadows Show, coming to your favorite podcast platforms soon as well.